Hey everybody, Mike Eccles back here, and hoping everybody is safe and healthy. Just found out it looks like we're going to be here for a while. We're definitely going to be online the rest of the semester. We knew that, but hopefully everybody's going to be able to cope. I just want to say, great job by many of you. A lot of you handed in your quizzes, and of course, many of you handed in your research papers, and some of them were excellent. Really, really good stuff, and I really compliment you all. The only thing I found funny is, my Jersey boy, Thomas Edison from the quiz. Come on. Now it's time to go ahead and move on. Next thing I want to talk about is your mass media law chapter. Now, it's, as I say in your assignment sheet, it's a big chapter. We're not going to talk about a lot of it. But there are a couple of things that I did want to go over when it comes to mass media law. One of the things is, of course, the beginning founding of our country. We had the first ever mass media law, 1791, the First Amendment, that was adopted to the Constitution. And that, of course, is the freedom of speech and so on. Freedom of the press, freedom of religion, that kind of thing. But that freedom of speech and of the press, that was huge. And yet, as we talked about in class, by 1798, John Adams had passed through Congress the Alien and Sedition Act, where it pretty much said that if you're running a newspaper and you say something bad against the government, boom, you're going to jail, and they're shutting down your newspaper. Well, 7 years after the First Amendment is adopted and we have this, well, of course, as we talked about in class, that doomed poor John Adams for his reelection campaign. And when Thomas Jefferson took over in 1801, he just let it dissolve. It's gone. It's not being renewed. It's done forever. And that was it for the Alien Sedition Act. And that was it pretty much with any kind of, approach towards going after mass media, mostly newspapers at that time. After what happened with the Alien Sedition Act, you really saw nothing when it came to mass media law for like 100 years. And then, of course, when we get into the 20th century, we have not only newspaper, but then radio arrives, and television arrives, and of course, mass media law really becomes big, especially even today, where there's still all kinds of talk about regulating the internet. Before your assignment, got a couple of fun things that I want you to do as it relates to mass media law. Now, the first thing you're going to do is I've left the link there. In 1974, a New York City radio station in the middle of the summer, it was like 2 o'clock in the afternoon, they were doing a show about words and their meanings. They then go ahead and play for the audience the clip that I have linked for you. And I want you to listen to it, okay? And then I want you, of course, to follow the assignment that I have after you watch that link. I also have another question I have for you that also relates to mass media law. As a matter of fact, it's kind of like that first, when I said that after 1801, you really didn't have a challenge to mass media and law for like 100 years. Well, in 1901 we did. So I want you to follow the assignment sheet, answer the 2 questions, and this is actually, since both answers are probably going to be like almost in a paragraph form, this quiz will actually be worth 40 points. All right? So it's mass media law. I want you to click on the link to the video that I want you to listen to, and then answer the question. And then for the second one, you're going to have to Google a little something and then answer the question to that one, both dealing with different parts of mass media law. All right? And, of course, your assignment is due by 11:59 on Sunday night, April 5th. And let's hope, if you want to do this tomorrow, you can, and you can email it to me. Having everybody wait until 11:50 on Sunday night. Yeah, let's just say the last 24 hours I've done a lot of grading because everybody waited till the end. But, hey, we're going to get through this. By the way, something that we had talked about in class is very much coming to fruition right now. If you remember, right before the midterm, I talked about how after the internet had first arrived, everything was through phone lines. And of course, phone lines were not designed to handle data, okay? And that's when fiber optic cables came. Well, I tell you what, right now, with all this homeschooling, with all, and I'm not talking about us, I'm talking through the K through 12s who are on it every day all over this country. When you're looking at all these people who are working from home using the internet, and sure, there's little disruptions here or there, but I have to tell you, if this was 20 years ago, or let's say 24 years ago, when most, if not all, the internet was done through phone lines, we would never be able to do what we're doing now, thanks to fiber optic cables. If it wasn't for all the data that those tiny little hair type glass tubes were carrying, we'd never be able to get through what we're going through right now. But thanks to fiber optic cables, I mean, we're all on Wi-Fi right now. And it's all coming through those fiber optic cables. So, hey, you got your assignment? Look forward to hearing or seeing your answers, and enjoy answering the question, because I think they're two very interesting aspects of mass media law. Hey, stay healthy, stay safe.